Not even 2 seconds in. I look at the screen and there's no blinking. And I remember just calmly saying, like, there's no heartbeat, is there? Hey you guys, it's Ritz here, and I just want to welcome you guys to my channel. So it has been officially 1 month since I have given birth to my beautiful baby, Atlas Blue Maverick Calloway. He was 4 pounds, 5 ounces. He was 17 inches long, and I gave birth to him the Friday that he would have been 31 weeks. He officially passed away on May 5th, and it's just really crazy that his due date was actually around the time my husband's grandmother passed away, but Blue actually passed away on the day my grandmother was born, which was May 5th. So my husband and I like to say that his unofficial official birthday is the same as my grandma's birthday, which is May 5th. I really want to just talk to you guys about just my pregnancy and how much of a true miracle it was. I know that this is titled Life After Loss, but I can't speak about the loss without speaking about Blue's journey from conception, which in my mind is the beginning of his life, to the day that he unfortunately passed away. This is going to be a long video, as you guys can tell by the time. I just ask that you guys just sit along for the ride. I promise you it's not going to be sad the whole time. I promise you there are beautiful parts of this. All the things that come with faith are not all beautiful and joyous, and not all of it is sad. I do feel as if there's a lot of this roller coaster rides when it comes down to this faith walk. It's a journey. So I just want to take you guys along these last literally 9 to 10 months with me, and yeah, I hope you guys are along for the ride. So I'm going to take you guys back to March of 2021. At March of 2021 was the last video that I posted on this channel, and in that you guys know that I was actually doing Journey to Baby, and that's basically just my fertility treatment journey from I only filmed 1 cycle, but that was that was more than enough emotional turmoil. And after that video that you guys last saw, I actually had a therapy appointment, and my therapist suggested that my husband and I take a break because of how much of an emotional toil it was, not just on my mental health, but on our marriage, period. As you know, going through fertility, there are a lot of emotional strains. At that time, as you guys could see in my video, I was just very stressed. I was really not myself. The medication made me not feel like myself. And I really just felt as if I was so yearning for a child that I was really starting to lose myself. So fast forward to July, I scheduled my appointment with CNY Fertility, and I scheduled for an IVF because in my mind, all the last 5 rounds of IUI did not work. So what's the point? What's the point of me even doing IUI anymore? Like, let's go skip right to IVF, right? So I was like, let me schedule this appointment. But the only issue was I hadn't had a cycle for 3 months, and I had taken pregnancy tests. I was not pregnant. I just have polycystic ovarian syndrome. And that's really just how, I just knew that I just didn't have a cycle, and I wasn't sure what was going on. It was that Monday, and I remember it specifically because I went into the appointment early in the morning. I always go at like 8, 9 o'clock in the morning. And I remember the nurse practitioner was doing the ultrasound. And when she was doing the ultrasound, I noticed that she was just really quiet, and I was like, well, did I ovulate? Like, what's going on? And she said in all those 3 months, I never even ovulated. And to me, I was just like, oh my gosh, like, I wanted to start IVF, but what I wanted to do also was not use a lot of medication. And one of the medications that I specifically didn't want to use was the one that basically gets my cycle going. I wanted my cycle to naturally occur. And so the nurse-based practitioner, she said that it was just a little odd that I hadn't even ovulated and it's been that many months, but she did say that and when I ovulate, to contact them, right? So in my mind, I'm like, okay, so my next goal is to ovulate. I want to have my cycle come. I left there kind of feeling devastated, but at the same time, I just knew that I wanted it to happen naturally. So then I basically just went to, when I went to praise team rehearsal, at the end of the praise team rehearsal, I just blurted out, I said, hey, you guys, I was wondering if you guys could pray for me. And when I tell you, immediately when I said that, they were all like, bet, like, what you wanted to pray for? And I basically just gave them the whole spiel, and there were men in there too. And I didn't care how awkward it was. I was like, look, this is my issue. I want it solved, and I am asking for you guys to intervene for me, right? And when I tell you, they were in there, they were ready to pray for me. And there was also another woman named Patty. She was actually pregnant with her son at the time. And they actually had us hug, or I can't remember, touch each other or hold each other's hands, but they gathered around in a circle, and Patty was there and I was holding her hands, and they were praying for me. And when I tell y'all, that night, my period came on. How? So my period came on, oh my gosh. And when I tell you, I was like, I don't even know if I told them. I think I did. I don't know if I told them. But anyways, I got my period that same night. So then the next day, right, I actually ended up going to Bible study with my friends. We had just started a Bible study thing. They were at the coffee shop. That's where we met. I felt weird. Like, I did not feel good. Even though my cycle was on, I just felt as if I was getting sick. I ended up passing out at home, found out I had COVID. And mind you, when my cycle was supposed to start, I was immediately supposed to start IVF. So I was just devastated because I was like, now, because I'm quarantined, I can't start my IVF journey. This is going to basically just, I won't be able to do it. 2 weeks afterwards, that Thursday, in the middle of August, we went to go get the COVID test, and it was standard for him to get it as well. Why does man end up with COVID? So for another 2 weeks, IVF journey is on hold for another 2 weeks. Lord, like, I'm not gonna lie, I was really devastated. I was very hopeless. I was angry because I'm like, what is stopping me from having my baby, from having my child? Like, what's going on? And in my mind, I was praying to get pregnant before my 30th birthday, and I was turning 30 by January. So as time is slipping, my hope is slipping. So then I get back to work in September. I remember, I think it was my first day back, the salon owner, who's a really good friend of mine, she said she was closing the salon, and I had just made my appointment to go start the medications and go get ultrasounds and stuff. I was planning on doing that in September, but because I knew the salon was closing, and I know from the past, you are not supposed to start fertility treatments under stress. And I'm like, I'm going to be stressed with the salon closing. I have nowhere to go. So with that being said, now it's like, now I have to hold off some more time until, knowing me, it's gonna take me a while for me to get settled. So I'm like, now November, like, I don't know what to do. And things were just crumbling, man. They were crumbling. First Sunday of September, I got prophesied over by my pastor, and he basically was talking about how my womb will be blessed, my husband will be saved, and then he also stated that I would have angelic experiences. Then the next Sunday comes, the salon's still about to close, I'm still under even more stress. He prophesies again. It was basically like the same thing. But you guys, when I tell you, if I could have rolled my eyes while he was giving me this prophecy, because I could not see past the situation. I couldn't. I wanted to just, like, why? So basically, when he prophesied for me, I wanted to believe it really badly, but I didn't. That was that Sunday. So literally that week, I had woken up at 2-3 o'clock in the morning, and I just so happened to look up from my bed, and I see something on the ceiling. And you know how you're like, you see flurries when you're like waking up, you see beams of light, and that's just natural. This was just there, and so I'm blinking, trying to see if maybe it'll go away, because maybe, you know, I'm just tripping. It didn't go away. So, you know, my Holy Ghost spirited behind, I literally went into the living room, and I was like, Lord, if this is not something that you brought in, like, it looked like a light, and I'll show you guys a photo. It looked like a weird light, and I'm looking around the room before I left for the living room. I'm looking around the room to see if there's anything that's causing the reflective light, and it's pitch black. There's nothing reflective, there's nothing. So then I basically go back into the bedroom and I look up and it's still there. And I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna just blink away and just go to sleep. So I ended up going to sleep. Then I wake up, and mind you, my husband, he's a deep sleeper. He normally sleeps until he has to go to work. So it's like probably 6 o'clock at this time, and it's still there. And I remember just throughout the day, because I had off that day. Throughout the day, I kept looking up, no matter what time of the day, where the sun was positioned, it was still in the same exact spot. And so the next night, I ended up taking a photo of it, and that's the photo I just showed you guys. And I remember just taking a photo, and every time periodically throughout that week, I would look up at different times of the day and it would still be there. Mind you, I'm moving things around my room to see if it was a reflection of something, and it's not. It's still literally there. So I remember we had a birthday dinner for one of my friends, and all of my friends were all believers. And I remember like, hey, you guys, like, can you guys look at this photo? I don't know if this is a demon, I don't know if it's an angel. Like, look, I need y'all to let me know what it is. So all of them are like, oh girl, that look demonic, what is that? I'm passing, the phone is being passed around, they're all taking a look at it. And then one couple in particular, they've had different experiences, and they were like, Marissa, like, they were the only ones who asked, like, Marissa, how did you feel with it there? And I told them, like, I was nervous at first, I was scared, and I prayed, but after I prayed, I was kind of like this, like, it is what it is. Like, I felt kind of peaceful, you know what I mean? Like, I felt like everything was all right. And they're like, well, this could be an angel. Like, I don't think this is demonic. And I remember just being like, I'm gonna pray about that. So I got home that night and I started praying. I said, God, like, if this is not something that you brought in my house, I need you to remove it right now. And I remember, like, that night, homeboy was still there. Like, it was still there in the same spot. Mind you, I moved things around my room that possibly would have been reflective, and it never moved, and it was always there, even no matter what time of the day. So I knew it wasn't, when my pastor said you're gonna have angelic experiences, I knew that's what it was. So basically, in the meantime, September and October, we decided to open up our salon, and I was really focused on the things of God. And I had actually came to terms with, you know what, Lord, I feel as if maybe I didn't do IVF because of something. I don't know what it was, Lord, but I accept what you gave. I accept it, right? So in between September and October, that was my mindset. And I remember in the middle of October, I remember looking up. Mind you, I would periodically look and I think it was still there. I looked up and it wasn't there anymore at all. I remember being like, okay, well, bye. It's not there no more. I take my pregnancy test. I took like 5 pregnancy tests. They were immediately positive. And I remember going to the doctors and then basically letting me know, your conception date was actually around October 15th and 17th. And I remember my mom was the one that pointed out, she said, Mira, when did that angel leave your room? When did you notice it was gone? And I remember being like, oh my God, it was around the time we conceived the baby, when I got pregnant. And she said, Mira, maybe the angel was there to make sure that you were gonna get pregnant. And I remember crying and weeping and just thanking God for that. So when I say my baby Blue was a miracle baby, God sent angels to make sure my baby was there. I'm like, let me, drink some coffee just to try and wake him up a little bit and eat. So I eat, drink coffee, and literally while I'm eating and while I'm drinking coffee, I'm still trying to have him move by, going like this or moving my stomach, something. He's not moving.